Ooh, this project is a lot of swivel knife work. But we're almost done, so guess we better plow through. Hello, Gata Logic. How's it going? Sorry, I don't know how long this went up there. I had my chat blocked. But howdy, howdy. Hope you're doing well. I was going for like 23 minutes, and I just got so caught up in what I was doing. It's gone. Well, that's good. That's good. Now we're just working on what will eventually be a book cover here. I do have one that's done carving. I haven't um, dyed it or anything yet. And where that one is? There was one I was working on earlier. Loretta, do you know where that? Oh, there we go. You were in a flow state. Yeah, I was definitely in a flow state. I don't know. Things get slow around here, but that's okay. So yeah, here we go. So this is one that I carved earlier. You can kind of see how it's gonna turn out eventually. So nothing put in it yet. But these are going to form a pair. So the both of these together. But it's a lot of swivel knife work. So, anyways, how are you doing? Hope life's treating you well. This lovely Wednesday. Is it Wednesday still? Guess it may or may not be, depending on where you are in the world. Hump day, I guess, for most people. Not for me though, because my work schedule is super weird. But for most people out there, it's hump day. So it's a quiet night as I work on some projects. Well, that's good. Quiet nights are good. What projects you got going on? You don't mind sharing? All we've been doing here is just project after project after project. Got so many projects we need to get done. And then I keep picking up new projects, and so that's the other big problem. I can't stop myself from picking up new projects. Particularly with this one. This one was a just a wild idea that I had that I wanted to try out. Um, just to kind of throw out there and see if like people were interested in these kind of book covers. Digital art, window shopping. Hey, there you go for various things. Don't window shop too much; you'll end up buying things. That's my problem. I always spend more than than I should when I start window shopping. But you know what they say: the only thing better than finding what you were looking for is finding something that you weren't looking for at a great price. I always have to police myself whenever I go into different stores. Especially today, I was in Home Depot. I was looking at microphones, found too many options. Yeah, well, that's usually how it goes. And then you never really know if it's going to be good until you get it. Sometimes it's like you can read all the reviews you want, but still not know if it's actually going to be a decent microphone or not. I always get conflicting things when I look at microphones. People are like, well, it works good if you know what you're doing. I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so the microphones for people like that. I got a really cheap microphone. I mostly got so I got a Razer Siren. Um, I don't know. I hear so many things. Some people are like, "Oh yeah, they're great." I don't know how to get mine to work properly. Seems like way too much effort. But I mainly got it because I kept trying to game with a headset, and like I don't know what it was. My computer just did not like me using headsets. Um, they were just always like a hassle, so I just decided to get a pair of decent headphones and a separate microphone, and that ended up working way better for me. Did write in the review here, he made the $18 Amazon mic work. Yeah, see? So, like, apparently, yeah, if you know what you're doing, then I guess you can make them amazing. Don't get to yell. Yeah, well, but, you know, barring that, as long as you don't max it out, I guess. I've been meaning to play with my mic settings for a long time. I see a lot of other um, people in the Craftsman's Guild that just have really, really good setups. But I don't know. I do have somewhat of like a noise gate on it and stuff, but to be honest, I don't really know how well it's working. Hopefully, well enough you at least don't hear too much of like the background noise and things going on. You mess with a 3-band equalizer and one other filter in the advanced settings. Yeah, see, and I hear people say to get Audacity, and that you can go in there and do like all sorts of like fine adjustments and stuff. I'm like, that's just too much work. I just want it to be plug and play, you know? I feel like for the most part, my mic's been okay, gotten the job done for me. I know it can pick me up when I go work on my back bench, and so I'm like, well, that's good enough. Don't have to shout too much. Yeah, we are making an album here. Yeah, exactly. No, like I said, for me, it's just the noise gate that I really want to be able to fine tune, get that working properly. So when I go and pound on my granite slab here, hope it's not like too loud on the other end. 'Cause I see guys that can like turn on a lathe and work at a lathe without like having the audience hear anything, but they can still talk at like a normal volume, and you can hear everything they say. So I'm like, that's pretty good. Hey, Data, how's it going? Hope life's treating you well. We've just been plugging away here. One massive project at a time, seems like. This one's a new one that I picked up, despite my wife telling me to not to. Yeah, hope life's treating you well. Fantastic. Sent off the first one. Hey, you're doing holsters now? I don't think I knew that. What kind of holsters are you doing? Are they like pancake holsters or? Is there like a big? I think we did talk about holsters. That's right. Remember that last time? That's something I've been maybe thinking about trying eventually. Got a lot of little things. Did I ever tell you that I finished my wallet? Okay, so yeah, some universal pancake holsters to start with. Okay. Hey Loretta, can you go get my wallet? If you're not too busy, I guess. Yeah, I got some pancake holsters to work on. Just knife pancake holsters, but I haven't really done a whole lot with them. I made one for myself. Grass, it took a while. Yeah, it did. It turned out pretty good though. Really happy with it. There's only one super significant flaw with it, but I'll show you in just a minute after Loretta goes and grabs it. So here we go. How it turned out. Just put a simple like oak leaf pattern on the front, and then yeah, I tried to do a basket weave. I ended up like making it way too symmetrical though, so it just did not. That didn't turn out super great. But then the rest of it, turned out actually really really good. So I'm happy with it. There's some parts that could be improved upon, but I mean, I was able to slap this whole thing together in a day. So I was like kind of impressed. Um, but there is one major flaw with it, and the one major flaw is that the original designs, because I just like found like a design that I liked offline, printed out, and it was in metric, and I should have like known at that point to double check, make sure that everything was like okay with it, and I did not, and so it ended up being it's a little tight. It's a little tight to get my cards and things out of it. So, but whatever. So there we go. I'm happy with it for like a first time making a wallet. I just kind of wanted to get my toes wet, because I'd never really sewn anything together like that before. I guess I did do one pancake sheath before I tried the wallet, but I don't know. I've just been having like so much fun with like the tooling side of things. I haven't really like stopped, slowed down enough to like make something first and then, focus on decorations later. I've just been diving right into trying to do more and more tooling work. But it's been fun. I've seen that several times lately. Measure twice, cut once, repeat. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I like printed it out and I slapped the whole wallet together in a day. I was just cruising through it. I did not stop to think and double check my measurements. I didn't think that like imperial would make that big of a difference, or like switching from metric to imperial. So I was like, oh, okay, it's a metric, but like people who use the metric system still have their same size credit cards, right? And maybe they do. Maybe it's just a bad pattern. I don't really know. It was from a Russian, so I don't know. Who knows? So yeah, so I decided, like I said, I'm going to try doing some book covers and see kind of how that goes. So this is actually going to be part of a binding. So this is going to be bound into a book, not just be a cover for a book, but actually be a soft binding. Um, I've been seeing other guys do that to various levels of success. But I did find a couple of guys who have full blown businesses just doing soft rebindings of Bibles. And I was like, okay, kind of looking at it, looked kind of cool what they were doing. I really liked it because it's a lot in line with what I want to do, which is really more on the bookbinding side of things. Um, so there's a lot of like the techniques and things that they were doing that was super similar. But there's a huge market out there for it, and that was like the biggest thing. It's like I love making my books, but they're hard to sell. They are a hard sell. Um, I just don't know if like a lot of people just don't read these days or what. But religious books like the Bible seem to be doing really really well, and I guess that kind of makes sense, right? Like that there would be more of a need for religious books. I don't know, maybe not, but that was kind of the experiment. I was like, all right, well, I'll try just throwing out there like a tooled Bible cover. So that's what this is going to do. I've got the text block sitting behind me, and we'll see. I'll just kind of throw it out there, see if people are interested in it or not. But like I said, I do think it is kind of more in line with where I want to be, which is making beautiful books. And so if this can be the vehicle to get me there, then why not give it a shot? And I did watch one video of this guy who, like I said, was doing that. Um, let's see. I got the pattern for the leather tennis shoes. I thought doing them in snakeskin would be cool, so dare to do them. So I ordered purple plaid to align them. Ooh, there you go. I was shocked at how many bookmarks I have. Bookmarks, yeah, that was the thing that you said that. Hey, Ambersor, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, Raiders. Hope you're doing well. Give you a chance to settle in. Yeah, how's it going? First time chat. Hey, how's it going, Ambersor? So what were you doing? What brings you in? Doing some leather work out here. And yeah, welcome Raiders. Tell me what was going on in the previous stream. But yeah, Data, those bookmarks, I think I'm gonna have to give those a try. Make something kind of similar. Good, good. We played Crab Champions and did some oil pastel work. Hey, that's awesome. Doing some artwork. That's so cool. What kind of piece were you working on? What was the subject, I guess I should say. Yeah, so I guess a little bit about me if you guys haven't been here before. I'm primarily a bookbinder, so I do a lot of bookbinding. And I've kind of been transitioning over, doing a little bit more experimentation with some leather work. But I show you this is going to turn out to be. So this is going to end up being bound into a book. And here is a cover that I finished earlier. You can kind of see how it's gonna. This one here is going to turn out. But yeah, so I'm primarily a bookbinder, but I do a lot of leather work, or kind of been branching into leather work. I knew I had to finish the first round of holsters. Oh yeah, with more of a gun dealer, he was going to drive up and get them. Yeah, I know. We struggled forever. I had that commission for a long time that we had to get out the door, and it just took me so freaking long. But a nighttime beachscape, that sounds awesome. That actually sounds really, really cool. Um, I love like those dark kind of paintings personally. And what weight of leather? This is pretty thick. This is, I want to say, 11 ounce. Um, sorry if you're like in the part of the world that uses metric system. I don't know what that would be. It's just over. I don't even have a metric ruler, so I don't know. Terrible with metric guesses too. But Loretta, do you know how thick an 11-ounce leather would be in millimeters? It's probably like 5 kilometers or something. I don't know. Somewhere in that ballpark range. Now where was I? Oh, what was I? Oh, that's thick with yeah. It's pretty thick. Almost everywhere uses metric. The US needs to catch up. I actually definitely prefer using Imperial for um, crafting projects personally. I think it's so funny because I watch like a lot of YouTube videos. Um, and there's particularly an Australian bookbinder that I like to watch, and it cracks me up whenever he has to do division because he has to like break out like the whole long division, writes it out, has to like mathematically calculate everything out, and I'm like, dude, just use Imperial. It's so much easier because everything's already in fraction format, so division is so much easier. Yeah, so my wife's Canadian. But she's terrible with guessing stuff too. So 4.4 millimeters is 11 ounce. So yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. But it's thick. So um, but it's nice. So I just take a V gouger and gouge it out where the leather needs to fold, and so I do a pretty deep score and then wet mold it into shape. And since this is going to be the only thing that covers the book, I kind of like having that thicker leather. It is not at all what I would typically bind a book with. when I bind a book, I'm usually using like 2 ounce leather is ideal, and I have no idea what that would be. I think it's a half a millimeter actually, right? Okay. Yeah, but it's thicker than half a millimeter. Oh, okay, so but anyways, yeah, so it's a pretty big jump. This is really crappy leather too. I hate this leather. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to using this type of leather ever again. But I mean, it's great in the sense that it's getting me started. Um, I started with just like a single. Well, I started with two shoulders, and it's gotten me pretty far. I've gone through quite a few projects with this leather, but it is really cheap, crappy leather, and that becomes very apparent at certain times. And so I think at this point, moving forward, as it's these products, hopefully with any luck, start to sell as people start to become more interested in them. Then I'm planning to switch over to Rocky Mountain does these supernatural hides that look really really good. Um, they look like they're on par with Herman Oak leather, but they're not quite as expensive. And so I feel like that would be perfect for me because I don't know if I'm like Herman Oak uh, level yet in my leatherworking, but I definitely want to start using some nicer stuff than this. 1.5. I think the snake skin I have been working with is zero point 0.4. Yeah, so like that snake is super duper thin, and that would be ideal for bookbinding. But it can be hard to get leather pared down that thick, or split down that thick, I should say. Um, but and then there's a elastic sort of metric to it. What do you call it? It just needs to be really stretchy. The snake is cool. I want to work with snake. I have some plans for what I want to do with some snake. But snake is not super stretchy, so it can still be kind of hard to deal with. But I definitely have some plans on what I want to do with snake. There's a couple of specific binding styles I've been taking a look at that I could make use of that like stiffer type of leather to do like a half binding. And then once I break out the mount, I have no idea like how to get a good angle on what I'm doing. We'll try something like that. See if that kind of works. But it's hard, like I said. Oh, but these kind of projects take me so long. So really hope that people appreciate that when I go to sell. But I just see so many people having so much more success on the leatherworking side of things than I tend to have with the books. So we got a big show coming up. Gonna add just a few leatherworking projects to my display, and we'll just see how it goes. Who knows? I've been rocking a Viking belt for a while. But that's kind of one of the other ones that we're going to try and see if we can get some good interest in. But it takes a long time to do like a Viking knotwork design down an entire length of belt. It takes a really long time. Did inlays of white cobra, black cobra, ostrich neck, ostrich leg, and stainless steel. Holy cow. That is crazy. That is a lot of inlay work. That's kind of another skill that I'd like to get to be good at. Because I see people do some really cool stuff with inlays. Yeah, I see people do like crazy cool things doing inlays with like bookwork and stuff. I always get my tools too far away from me. Drives me nuts. Nah, it was only 3 weeks ago I knew what a holster was. It was only 3 weeks ago? Really? How well do your holsters do? I guess you said this is kind of a relatively new project for you, right? I know a lot of people though who just, primarily focus on holsters and they have some really good success with them. So I still feel like I have a long ways to go before I'm ready to like crank out a full holster. But then again, maybe not. I don't know. I just kind of like get a few more like the fundamentals and stuff underneath my belt, so to speak, before I branch out too much. But I also feel like I'd have to like make it kind of my own style, you know. I sent the first 10. You sent 10 of them off today? Daggum. Yeah, go. That sounds awesome. Well, good. I'm super glad that you're doing so well. But yeah, I don't know, because like a lot of like the patterns and designs and things I see for holsters are very Western in their style, which is cool. And here I am doing some Western floral patterns, but um, I do feel like for me, my style's more um, ancient. I take a lot more of my inspiration from ancient artwork, and so I feel like if I were to do holsters, I'd want to eventually make it my own. Um, but I have been doing like more, I guess, Western patterns, because that's what everybody else does. So there's a lot of resources out there on how to do it and everything. So I do want to get like a lot of these fundamentals again under my belt, so to speak, before I branch out and try and do um, more my own artwork. Just to understand how these patterns are formed, how the depth is created. I do see a lot of people doing like stuff with like the Viking stuff. But I don't know. Again, like as somebody who's going to buy a holster, going to be looking to buy a Viking designed or Viking inspired holster. I don't know. It's exciting, expecting dummy guns. So yeah, that will be really awesome if you can get those dummy guns. Um, and then do some like wet molding and stuff. That would be sweet. Um, can people like just 3D print that stuff these days? Or is the plastic not strong enough for wet molding? I've been trying to kind of look into 3D printing a little bit more to see how it might help my um, leather working